What's up, guys, and welcome back to week 3 of our new series, Limitless. You know, social media is great for a lot of reasons. It connects us with other people that we may not have seen. Now that I'm out of high school, it connects me with people that I haven't seen in over 4 years, which is crazy. But another example of how social media is great is, well, just think of a small thing like the filters. When you think about filters on social media, they can make you look completely different. You know, they have these special filters that are funny, they have filters that make you look better, they have filters that make you look like you're in a different place or a different person. It's just really cool, all the things that you can do with filters. But for all the things that social media really has going for it, there are clearly some disadvantages when it comes to social interaction on social media. Now, during this pandemic, I know that it's very popular to be on social media because you can't really be physically in person with other people, or at least it's not safe to be. So social media has been a very big help, and our online interaction has been huge during this time. But there are some clear disadvantages to social media and these social interactive apps. And the chances are that you probably know what those disadvantages are. For example, we see all the things that other people are doing. Things like how their relationships are going. You usually see people that are in a relationship, when they post it on social media, it seems like everything's great, and it's like the perfect relationship. Or you may see when people go on vacations, and you see the fun parts of the adventures. You see all these random things that your friends are doing, and sometimes with other people, sometimes without you. And that can be kind of discouraging. And a huge disadvantage to social media is changing the way you look or making yourself look a specific way so that you look better than other people. And on the other side, for you, the person that's viewing that, it can begin to make you feel inadequate. The truth is, social media doesn't have to be there for us to feel inadequate. We know that we can feel that way completely on our own. We feel that way when we talk to people at school. We see other people doing well, but we wish we could do that. We're happy for them. We want them to do well. We want other people to succeed. But we also wish that we could be better at some of the things that we're lacking. Because the truth is that I know what I'm lacking in, and you probably know where you're lacking in your life. And whatever it may be, all of us has something that feels like it's holding us back. It's keeping us from being confident. We all have that thing that we don't have, but we wish we had. Maybe you wish you had a different home situation. Maybe things are rough with your parents. Maybe you wish you could sing better. Maybe you wished your hair was better. Maybe you wish you looked better. Maybe you wished you lived in a different city or a different state. Maybe you wish you lived in a different climate. Maybe you wish that you had a different house, that your parents drove a different car, or that you had a different car. And the big one is maybe you wish you had some different status, like a higher status. If that's you, then I've got some good news. All of us can relate to that. All of us feel those things. And not just we can relate to that, but also a guy named Moses. He can relate to that. And we've been talking about all these moments in Moses' life, in his story, that limits could have been put on him, but how he lived beyond those limits. Because when we talk about Moses, we don't talk about him in the way that he was limited. We talk about the Hebrew who was raised from an Egyptian because his mother put him in the Nile River. We talk about the guy who parted the Red Sea. We talk about the guy who led his people out of Egypt. We don't talk about the things that limited Moses. And we hear about these accomplishments, and we may think that he was just a natural-born leader. Because we hear that so often. When someone's in a position of power, when someone is a good leader, we just think that's something they were born with. They were naturally that good. And although that is definitely not the case, we tend to just believe that we can never be like that. We know what's holding us back from being like that. But Moses, he was just a regular guy. And he had one thing, just like you have that one thing that held him back from being confident. And we're going to talk about that thing today. One day Moses came across something really unusual. It was a shrub. And it was on fire, but it wasn't burning up. And Moses realizes in that moment that God is in that fire. Not physically, but he can see God in this fire. He's trying to talk to Moses through this. And so God, through this fire, tells Moses that he is sending him. He's sending Moses to bring the Hebrews out of Egypt. God tells Moses that the job falls on him, and that he should know that God will be with him through this entire thing, and that he should tell the Hebrews that when he goes to bring them out of the land of Egypt. Moses is getting real about the fact that he doesn't think he would be a very good speaker. He's not going to be very eloquent. He's never been, and he doesn't think that he has what it takes to be the one that God uses in this moment. But then it says this in Exodus 4. Then the Lord asked Moses, "Who makes a person's mouth? Who decides whether people speak or do not speak, whether they hear or do not hear, see or do not see? Is it not I, the Lord? Now go. I will be with you as you speak, and I will instruct you in what to say." And God is trying to help Moses see something that he can't see himself. And that's that he made him. God made Moses, just like he made you, just like he made me. And he knows what he can and can't do. And God knows that Moses can do this. He knows that he's capable of working in your life, in my life, and even in Moses' life, in spite of the things that we think are our limits. And so today, I want you to know that you shouldn't let fear hold you back from doing what God is calling you to do. If you feel God calling you to do something, don't let fear, don't let this lack of confidence hold you back from doing what he has called you to do. God hasn't abandoned us, and he will use us in spite of the things that we think are non-negotiable. In spite of the things that we think we can't do, he knows we can do them, and he will still use us. And so I want to ask you a question this week. What if the weakness that you think is in you didn't limit God's plan for you? What if you knew that the weakness that you think you have didn't limit God's plan for you? Would you live a little more boldly? Would you live with more confidence? Because I think I would. Today I want you to understand that the thing that you think is holding you back from being the best, the thing that you think is holding you back from separating you from everybody else, the thing that you think God can't use, may very well be the thing that he wants to use and that he will use. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful week. Leave a comment below if you have any questions. Don't forget to follow all the socials. Make sure to subscribe and enable notifications. And I'll see you guys back here next week. Bye.